sure you have no idea why Principal Sloan wants to talk to us.
No.
I'll bet you a baby bassinet I know why.
Collier?
Daddy, it's not because I'm pregnant. I haven't told a soul.
Mr. and Mrs. Sims, Kelly, sorry for the wait. It's a busy morning. We've known about Kelly's pregnancy for quite a while. And I wanted to explain Fillmore's policy to you regarding this situation. You see, the board strongly feels that pregnant students compromise the educational process of other students, which is why we're going to transfer her to another facility.
Transfer her.
What? Mr. Sloan, I have to graduate with my friends.
Where are you moving her?
Delmar.
Delmar? Those kids are a bunch of losers.
It's a continuing educational facility for students whose behavior or circumstances make it impossible for them to remain in regular classes.
Well, that's not Kelly, Mr. Sloan. She's a good kid.
She's homecoming queen.
And she has a wonderful grade point average. Why, it's 3 point something.
9. 3.9.
I do not need to be sold on Kelly's merits. Believe me, this is a very difficult situation for me.
This isn't fair. This will be on my transcripts forever. I'll never get to go to college. I'll never be eligible for scholarships.
Is there any other solution other than sending her and Johnny to another school?
Who?
Johnny Williams. He's the father.
Well, I'm afraid it's Kelly's condition that's disruptive. Maybe you should consider in-home study. I'm sure you'll do what's best. I guess that's it. Please clean out your locker. I talked to the administrator at Delmar, and they'll be expecting you first thing Monday morning.
Today's my last day.
I'm afraid so.
Come on, Kelly. You coming, Mary Elizabeth?
Yes, in a minute.
I'll see you in the car.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, Mr. Sloan. I know there are rules and policies and that you have a job to do.
Thank you, Mrs. Sims. I appreciate that. This policy has been in place for a long time.
And why does the policy not apply to a Johnny as well?
It's obvious. No pun intended, but as soon as Kelly starts to show, the mere sight of her will send the message that Fillmore condones premarital sex.
And the mere sight of a Johnny
Mrs. Sims.
sends the message that Fillmore condones sexism, Principal Sloan. It suggests that premarital sex is okay for the simple reason that if you are a male student, there is no price to pay.
Now, Mrs. Sims.
Don't patronize me. I'm not one of your students.
You're blowing this all out of proportion.
And you're an idiot. No pun intended.
Any day now, I will hear you say goodbye, my love, and you'll be on your way. In my wild, beautiful world, you will have flown. It isn't now. I'll be all alone.
But life isn't fair, Kelly. Maybe that's what the lesson is here.
Why do I always have to learn something? That's not fair either.
I'll be in the garage.
Daddy?
Kelly, I can't fix this for you. We told you things would change.
I just want to know who told on me.
Told on you? You make it sound like you cheated on your homework.
I know it wasn't Marcia.
Kelly, you're not getting this.
I only told Tracy, and I told Vicky.
So you did tell people.
Only my best friends, because they promised they wouldn't say anything.
Lesson number 2. Friendship and promises don't always go hand in hand.
I bet it was Sharon McComb. Oh, this is all her fault.
Sharon McComb did not get you pregnant.
And Sharon McComb is not going to be the one changing 375 diapers every day on 2 hours sleep a night.
You know, I'm gonna go take a nap. If a Johnny calls, please wake me. If you knew what Delmar was like, you would not make me go there.
Hell, it's school policy. There's nothing we can do about it. There's got to be something we can do about this.
I thought you just told her there wasn't.
We've raised our daughter to respect authority. I, on the other hand, have no problem whatsoever burning that school to the ground.
Arson's a felony. I don't think that's a good idea.
They're kicking her out because she's pregnant. And you know why she's pregnant? Because she's a woman, that's why.
That's not the only reason, Emmy.
Since the beginning of time, they have been telling pregnant women to disappear and not come back until they have squatted out there in the back 40 with a piece of leather between their teeth or whatever and dropped that baby in a tobacco field.
Piece of leather?
Or chain or rope or whatever it is to keep them from screaming, God forbid a man should be subjected to the pain of childbirth. Did you find something?
No, but there's the old standby, the 14th Amendment, or sexual discrimination.
Good. Yeah, do that one. Because they don't intend to throw a Johnny out.
I mean, do you really think that a Johnny should experience this whole thing the exact way that Kelly does?
Well, he can't dilate, but he could be there just a little bit more. Where was he when Kelly told me she was pregnant? Playing football. Where is he every morning when she's throwing up? Playing basketball. Where is he going to be when she's in labor? Playing baseball? I'll tell you one thing, I think the reason that these men play with all these balls is because they don't have any of their own.
Here it is.
Good. Can we sue?
Afraid not. There's no citywide law dictating policy regarding pregnant students. It's up to each individual board.
Got to help me. They are kicking her out of school. This cannot be legal.
Honey, if they were terminating her education, that'd be another story, but Sloan's covered his legal basis. They're just transferring her.
To the Twilight Zone.
I know of a couple of schools that accommodate pregnant students, but they're not in your district.
We'll sell the house. We'll move.
Not by Monday. Ultimately, I need to have a meeting with the board, and I can't do that by Monday. Kelly may have to go to Del Mar for a day or two.
I can live with a day or two.
All right. Want to go get some lunch?
No. Ever since this whole thing started, my stomach's been nothing but a roller coaster.
You're giving me a Ferris wheel stomach.
Isn't it fun?
No, stop. You two gonna come up for air? Emmy, haven't you ever heard of knocking? There's no door, Renee. Hello, Henry.
Hi, Emmy. I better be heading home, Snooks.
Oops. See you tomorrow at school. And wear that cute little red shirt.
Sure. See, Emmy.
Snooks? It's his nickname for me. So, why were you kissing so long? I don't know, it's fun. Fun? But all you're doing is pressing your lips together. You weren't even making noise. Like Teresa was when we spied on her. She sounded like she had a cramp in her foot or something. You gonna kiss him again? Sure. I'm even thinking about second base. But you don't even like baseball. Not that second base. There's another one where you wear a nice sweater and let the boy tell you how soft the sweater is. At least I think that's what it is. Who told you that? I overheard some older girls at school. You should let Collier touch your sweater, too. If you don't, he might want to break up with you again. Well, if Collier doesn't want to be my boyfriend just because I won't let him feel my sweater, I don't want to be his girlfriend either. Besides, sweaters make me itch. Just be careful, or you'll end up old and alone like one-eyed Miss Gleason. Mom, do you think Miss Gleason is happy?
That lovely Miss Gleason with one eye? Well, the Lord has given her a cross to bear, that is for sure. And considering she's never been married, doesn't have any children, walks with a cane, and she is blind as a bat, I'm sure she's very happy. Why?
Just wondering.
Well, you go wash your face upstairs and wonder in bed. It is getting very late, little lady.
Yes, ma'am. Just be careful, or you'll end up old and alone like one-eyed Miss Gleason.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
What you doing?
Oh, I am making the nucleus of an atom out of pipe cleaners. What are you doing?
Eating cookies. You want to meet me for a soda or something after school tomorrow?
Ooh, I don't think so. I gotta finish this science project by Friday.
I'll let you get to first base.
Well, I could come over now.
No! Tomorrow. Meet me at Port Dixie at 4 o'clock.
You sure you don't want to do it now?
No, Collier. My dad's laying on the couch watching TV. And if the doorbell rings after 9 o'clock at night, he goes crazy. Call now, 1-800.
I'll get it.
Good evening, Mr. Sims. May I speak to Kelly?
She's not here. Shouldn't you be at basketball practice or something?
Oh, I just came from there.
Then why aren't you home studying? I'm sure you have homework since you're still in school and all.
What time is she getting home?
I'll tell her you stopped by.
Who was that, Daddy?
Jehovah's Witness?
Oh, okay. Good night.
See the Orinoco.
Morning, Mom.
Hi, sweetie.
Mom, I don't want this.
Oh, eggs made me queasy, too. Well, how about some cereal? You gotta eat something.
Mom, it's not the eggs. It's Delmar. Please don't make me go there. Mom, it's not fair. I'm not like those losers.
Of course you're not a loser, darling. No one said you were. But we talked about this. I want you to get dressed. I'll drive you. You don't have to go alone.
This is ridiculous. I feel like I'm in kindergarten.
If only you were. Nice drive. I know this is hard for you, honey. One of the things in life is learning how to follow the rules. You'll get through it. Well, what the heck? One of these days we'll look back on all this and laugh.
Delmar. Great.
Oh, who knows? Maybe you'll make some new friends.
You're picking me up, right? You won't be late.
They were pod people. She's not going. They had kids smoking crack and having sex right there in the front yard.
No, not in the front yard.
You wouldn't believe it. They even had a demented rabbit dog tied up to a tetanus-ridden post. Do you know how bad tetanus is for pregnant women? Well, let me tell you something. It's going to be a cold day in hell when a child of mine goes to a school like that. I think she should go right back out there to Fillmore. I mean, what's the worst thing they could do to her?
They can arrest her.
You know, I don't think you care about this very much.
I mean, I care very much, but my hands are tied until I can meet with the board.
Well, I think you should at least go out there and look at that death camp they call a school. Then you would see how bad it is for Kelly.
Where is it?
3 miles out on Highway 5. Take a left at the Hungarian taco stand.
You realize, don't you, that no matter how this all plays out, it has to be Kelly's battle?
I know it's Kelly's battle, but I've got to help her fight it.
No, you don't. You keep telling her to grow up, take responsibility for herself, be an adult, make decisions, and yet still you go sneaking around behind her back, putting out the fires yourself.
That's what a mother's supposed to do.
What if she's trying to teach a kid responsibility?
Hey, now.
I know. No, I'm not a mother, and where the hell do I get off trying to tell you how to raise your kids?
Thank you.
That said, all you can do is help her to review the situation, lay out the options, but the final decision has got to be hers, assuming you really do want her to behave in the manner in which you say you do.
I hate you.
Uh-huh.
I hate this. Things were a whole lot easier when we were just kids hanging out at Fort Dixie.
If I remember correctly, we did a whole lot of growing up there, too.
Did you like it? No, not really. Did Collier like it? I couldn't tell. He didn't say much. Well, maybe second base is more fun than first. How many bases are there anyway? 3. And a home plate. Hey, maybe I'd like that better. I love it when I score. But don't you have to get to third before you get to home? I mean, isn't that how it works in baseball? Well, you have to pass third to go to home, but you don't have to stay there. What is home plate anyway? I bet old Miss Gleason poked her eye out on purpose, just so she wouldn't have to deal with all these bases. Maybe we should ask somebody, so Collier and Henry won't think we're stupid. Do you think our parents know? No way. I don't even think my mom's been up to bat. We need to ask some older girl. Somebody who's been around the bases for sure. Teresa. She knows all about all kinds of kissing.
State-of-the-art security. You touch it, you get electrocuted.
Ooh, baby.
Lewis, that's not your sister.
Got that right.
Out.
I called earlier, Renee Jackson.
Right. Have a seat. Dick Conroy. Out. Welcome to Lower Learning, Miss Jackson. What can I do for you?
A friend of mine is a senior at Fillmore, and she's pregnant. They think she should come here, and I don't.
Probably not. Is she a good student?
The best.
Emotional problems?
Nothing unusual for an unwed pregnant 17-year-old. I'm gonna need some cold statistics. Maybe you can help. I need to see some student files.
Come on, Miss Jackson, you're a lawyer. You know I can't do that.
And if I subpoenaed them?
I'd hand deliver them to your home with a bottle of wine if it meant keeping your friend out of here.
I like Chardonnay, and that won't be necessary. I came prepared.
And I like Cabernet. Good for you.
Mr. Conroy,
Yes, Maria.
did you think about what we talked about? I gotta know right away.
Yes, I did. We need to talk some more.
When?
When Miss Jackson and I have finished. Right?
Okay.
Please don't take this the wrong way. I don't want to offend you, but you seem like a very nice, well-educated man.
I am.
Then why are you here?
If one kid out of the 30 or 40 that come through this door every semester makes it, then that's why I'm here. These kids didn't come out of the womb this way. Something happened to them.
Thank you. Really appreciate this.
I'll walk you to your car.
Mr. Conroy, please, I have to talk to you.
Maria, 1 minute.
What's going on with her?
Personal stuff. Kids around here, they either hate your guts or latch onto you like you're their best friend.
Must be tough.
Miss Jackson, please don't take this the wrong way. I don't want to offend you, but you seem to me to be a very nice, well-educated woman. Keeping your friend out of here is noble. What about the rest of these kids?
What about them? I can't help all these kids.
The school board's allocated $50,000 for football gear and uniforms for 2 other high schools. Delmar has to hold fundraisers to buy furniture.
Are you asking me to write a check?
I'm asking you to meet with the parents.
What good's that gonna do?
Tell you to find out.
I'm sorry. I just don't have the time.
I voted for you for DA because your education proposals were liberal, cutting edge.
Please don't do this.
I guess maybe you just made it all up, pretended to care, to get votes.
Damn you.
Here's my address. I can have the parents together tomorrow night, say 7?
I have a meeting at my office at 6. You come to me.
You all right?
I guess. It's just my gums. I bleed whenever I brush my teeth.
That's what we pregnant women call pink toothbrush.
We? You pregnant now too?
Slap your mouth.
I can't. It's bleeding.
Listen, we haven't really planned how you would handle your pregnancy in the 5th month, much less the 9th.
What do you mean? I thought I'd get out of bed in the morning, throw up, take a shower, throw up, get dressed, throw up, and go to school.
Well, morning sickness will soon be over, only to be replaced by constipation, heartburn, hemorrhoids and swollen ankles.
I thought pregnant women were supposed to glow.
Only in the dark. Listen, I have a confession to make.
Let me guess. You and Daddy love a Johnny. You are secretly thrilled I'm pregnant so that I can have a mixed race baby and you two can be grandparents.
You still got your sense of humor. That's good. Actually, I feel like I've been a little hypocritical over this Delmar thing.
So what'd you do this time?
Well, at the same time that I've been asking you to accept leaving Fillmore, I've been running around trying to fix it. I was wrong. It's not my job. It's yours. I want you to check out your options and know that I will support any decision you make. I want you to ask yourself, if your own daughter was in this situation, and given her family history, she probably will be, what would you want her to do? I love you very much.
Thanks, Mom.
Kelly! Come in here. What are you doing out there? Are you all right? Are you alone?
Very.
Don't you have a hat or a raincoat? Or where's your umbrella?
I needed to clear my head, so I took a walk.
You walked here? Does Emmy know that you're here?
I just told her I was going out.
I'm gonna have to call her, you know, just so she won't worry.
No, please don't. She'll insist on coming to get me.
Probably.
I don't want to see her yet. I need some time alone with you first, if that's okay.
Of course that's okay, you poor thing. Let's get you two dried off. Upstairs, get you into some dry clothes.
Soup was a great idea.
Mom always made me soup when it rained.
Mom microwaves frozen macaroni and cheese.
If only macaroni and cheese could solve life's problems. Honey, I know this legalese can be confusing. Is there anything you don't understand?
I think I've got it. 1, I could sue the school for discrimination and/or sexual harassment. 2, go back to school and risk arrest. 3, go back to Delmar and risk my life. 4, go to court and get an injunction.
So what do you want to do?
I think get an injunction so that I can go back to Fillmore until you meet with the board.
I think that would be best. Gotta tell you, though, there might be some press.
That's okay.
Sure. Your picture could end up in the front of a newspaper.
Really?
Really.
Pregnant, unwed, homecoming Queen Sue's school. It's pretty heavy.
Think you can handle that? There's your mother. She's in the living room.
Honey? Why didn't you just come back and get the car?
I was already halfway here. Mom, Renee and I have a plan.
Oh, what's the plan?
We're going to go to court. Renee's going to get an injunction so that we can stop Fillmore from kicking me out, so we can argue their policy.
Excellent. Great plan. When do we go?
Mom, I need to take care of this myself.
Great. Don't have to be there. Got a life. Let's go. You must be starving. And I've made you just a little macaroni and cheese.
We are seeking injunctive relief until we can meet with the board, which could be weeks. In the meantime, Miss Sims' education will be compromised if she is forced to attend Delmar. Furthermore, if Delmar becomes a permanent part of her scholastic record, it could impair her future pursuit of scholarship and entrance eligibility to many institutions of higher learning. In other words, attending Delmar will cause her irreparable harm.
Finished?
That would be up to you, Your Honor.
Why don't you just come right out and say it, Miss Jackson? Delmar houses nothing but drug addicts and thieves, and you don't think your client ought to be exiled there just because she's pregnant.
There is that, too, Your Honor.
The requested relief is granted.
Yes.
You will notify the board of my decision and request a meeting on an expedited basis. If they reject your plea to be heard, we will meet again. and we will settle this once and for all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Renee, that was great. Compromised education.
It came to me while your mom was talking about Del Mar, but don't tell her it was her idea. We'll never hear the end of it.
You think I have a shot at this?
I think you have a shot at this.
We need to talk, Mr. Sims.
I got nothing to say to you.
Well, I've got plenty to say to you. I want us to come to an agreement.
I don't think that's possible.
Are you even willing to listen to me? Sir.
This better be good. Have a seat.
Well, I'd rather stand, sir.
Sit down.
Yes, sir.
Make this quick. Kelly's going to get home any minute, and I don't want you to hear what she does.
Why don't you like me?
The fact that you even have to ask that should be the answer to that question. First of all, you have gotten my daughter pregnant, which is tearing my family apart. And second of all, you seem to think that basketball is more important than Kelly and her baby.
Our baby. And that's not true, sir.
Well, you could have fooled me. Don't you even care that Kelly got kicked out of school?
Of course I do.
And what have you done about it? Exactly. You should be cleaning up the circus you've created rather than come knocking on my door whining, why don't you like me?
Well, the way we treat each other in front of Kelly and Mrs. Sims is killing them. We don't have to like each other, but doesn't mean we have to take it out on them either.
I am not the one here who needs changing.
Are you willing to be cordial to each other in front of them? If you got a problem with me, come to me and talk about it one-on-one like a man. Sir.
All right. I'll try it. But only because that's what's best for them. Don't think that this changes how I feel about you. I'm standing my ground. Now get out of here.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. You won't regret this.
I already do.
All right, food's here.
Hi! What are you doing here? Well, stay for dinner.
That's okay. I better be getting home.
Well, it's takeout, but we eat it off real plates. You go home after you wash them.
Sure. Okay, that'd be great.
Come on.
Oh, great. Chinese food? Start.
So, what y'all been talking about?
Basketball.
But they're gonna let her back in her old school after she had a baby. So it really don't matter what Del Mar is like.
But she's going to have to go there at least 2 more months until she has the baby. Do you really want her attending a school that can't accommodate her needs?
What do you mean needs?
What about a chair she can sit in? Her pens are right. Or better yet, a place where she can muster up enough self-esteem to see a future, as opposed to just getting through the day.
That girl made her bed and I told her she gonna lay in it. Period.
Mrs. Halliday, if you have no concern for your granddaughter's welfare, then I don't understand. Why did you come here tonight?
To make damn sure she don't get kicked out of Del Mar. She get kicked out, my check shrink. Night and night.
See what I mean?
Wow. 30 students and only 5 parents show up?
Actually, 3 parents and 2 grandmothers.
I had no idea.
Renee, I apologize for roping you into this. I'd hoped to get you fired up so you'd see the light, care, go before the school board and get that jockstrap money allocated to Del Mar.
Why haven't you done that?
I got 3 months to go before I get tenure. After that, I plan on shaking things up a little bit.
Good. Meantime, I'll make a few phone calls. Budget's a public record, and the school board is made up of elected officials. Maybe we've got an election coming up. See if we can get somebody on our side.
Good. You got kids?
No. You?
This week I got 37. These kids sure are growing up differently than I did.
Where did you grow up?
Boston. Worst thing that happened to me was losing the state basketball championship. All we had to worry about was getting leather sweaters, class rings, and going steady. And sex. It was something far, far away.
But I thought kissing was first base. Just when I thought you couldn't get any stupider. It's more than just a silly kiss. I kiss puppies and certainly for one moment don't consider that I've ever dragged a dog to first base.
That's something Fat and Ugly Von Strang would do.
So what is first base?
It has to do with tongues.
But you already told us about tongues last year.
It's more than just tip to tip. First base is when you stick your whole tongue in the boy's mouth.
Yeah.
My Billy calls it throat hockey.
So what's second base? I know, you have to wear a soft sweater, right?
Second base is letting a boy touch your boobie. It has nothing to do with what you wear, Spaz.
I'm never letting Collier do that.
Me neither.
You better not. He's my boyfriend.
I wouldn't worry about it. He'd need a magnifying glass to find your boobies.
You're just older than me, that's all.
Let me just say that when I was 12, the boys used to call me Miss Tangerine. They'd call you Miss Acorn.
So what's third base and home plate?
Well, that's for me to know and you to find out.
Teresa, how are we gonna find out if you don't tell us?
Never forget this as long as you live. The female and male reproductive systems were created by God for one reason and one reason alone. Procreation. Yes, Mary Elizabeth.
What's procreation, Sister Joy?
Who would like to tell Mary Elizabeth? Since it was last night's homework. Yes, Collier.
Procreation, from the Latin procreare, to produce offspring, to beget, propagate, or generate, to give rise to.
But what does it mean?
Making babies. That's why God made all this.
I know.
Bobby.
My father already told me how babies are made.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did. He told me the morning after I heard a bunch of squeaky, weird noises coming from their room. He said that the father jumps up and down on the bed like a trampoline, while the mother turns on the television real loud and makes woof sounds. But it only works if the kids stay in the room and don't come out till morning.
Your father is right. And after a man and a woman are married, in the eyes of God, it's considered a beautiful thing. However, before you're married, even a simple little kiss between a boy and a girl can trigger the ovaries here to spew eggs into the fallopian tubes here, where they are greeted by sperm made by the testicles here. Next thing you know, you're having a baby, or even worse, cursed with syphilis. Yes, Mary Elizabeth.
I heard my mom say that my Uncle Arnold was shiftless. Does that mean he kissed a girl before he was married?
Not shiftless, syphilis. Little curly-Q things that screw into the brain and make you go blind, or even worse, paralyze you. Any more questions? Yes, Mary Elizabeth?
Does any of this stuff have to do with how I can get to third base? Renee? I'm in my room. Ow! Sorry, Renee. Tell me it's not too late. Too late for what? Tell me you haven't gone to second base yet. No, I haven't even decided which soft sweater to wear. Do you like this pink one? No, you can't wear any of them. You sure you haven't gone to second base with Henry yet? You wouldn't lie to me, would you? No, what are you doing? Checking for sores and lesions. Sister Joy told us how miserable we'd be if we did all that stuff before we're married. Some people go blind. Your hands can even fall off. You can even have a baby if you kiss a boy. My mother never told me anything like that. Well, you can. I think we're okay this time. Man, that was close.
No, I've never had a baby, and I resent your asking. A little personal, don't you think?
I'm merely trying to get you to relate to this on a personal level.
Have you ever had a baby? I didn't think so. So why don't we just leave personal experience out of this and look at the law, which requires me to inform you that I have been given an injunction allowing Miss Sims to return to Fillmore until the school board grants us a meeting.
This has happened before, and I can tell you that the school board will not grant you a meeting. They feel very strongly about this policy.
Then they'll be given an opportunity to express their feelings in court.
They won't.
Then we'll win.
I know you're a friend of the Sims family, and therefore you have a personal stake in this. But if that wasn't the case, could you honestly tell me that you don't think that Kelly's pregnancy will have a negative impact on the students?
I don't think Kelly's pregnancy will have a negative impact on the students.
didn't hear a bell. Class is not over. What's going on?
We're walking out, Mr. Sloan. If Kelly can't go to school here, neither will the rest of us.
Kelly, stay!
Mom?
She's not here.
Dad, where's Mom?
She took Davis to the dentist.
When will she be back?
I don't know, a few hours.
Daddy, look, I gotta talk to you.
So talk.
No, now, Dad, I gotta talk to you now.
Now what?
Now, before you answer the door. Look, Johnny and I staged a walkout at school. He got suspended and kicked off the team.
Come in. Oh, it's you.
And his mother, Collier.
Gail. Come on in.
We're not staying. I just want to know if you're happy now.
I'm not happy about any of this. I never have been. But I am glad that Johnny's done something to prove that he cares about what happened to Kelly.
So now both kids are kicked out of school. And now that this is on his record, Johnny will probably never get accepted to Morehouse.
I wasn't gonna go anyway, Mom.
Maybe not this year, but later.
Daddy, we were just trying to get Mr. Sloan to let me back into school.
But you knew Renee was working on this. You should have waited to see what happened in court.
Wait, you're taking this to court?
Yep.
Good.
So let's wait until after court and the judge rules. And then we'll deal with the Johnny suspension, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's go tell your father. He must have known about this.
Oh, man.
Just like I said, life isn't fair.
Yeah, well, like Renee says, if only macaroni and cheese could solve life's problems.
It looks like spaghetti casserole. I had no idea that all that stuff was inside of me.
Me neither.
Does yours look like that?
No way.
I need a drink.
Yeah, me too.
Grape okay?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think we're going to hell, do you?
I don't think so. We only got to first base, right?
Yeah, it's probably just a couple Hail Marys.
Second base, probably Novena. Boy, that was close.
You're telling me. Here. If I ever got preggers before I got married, my mom would kill me.
Well, I can promise you one thing, Mary Elizabeth. That will never happen.
So, what do you...
I have before me notice sent by counsel for Millard Fillmore High School stating that they are waiving their right to appear, and that, although they do not concede in your request, they will not oppose my ruling.
That's wonderful, Your Honor.
This is not a slam dunk, Miss Jackson. I still need to hear from you.
Of course. Where Fillmore violated Miss Sims' rights is obviously a 14th Amendment issue. She's protected through due process and equal protection, and the school ignored this. They just kicked her out without giving her an opportunity to be heard. They can't do that. And so we asked the court to take all of this into consideration and allow Miss Sims to return to her school and be graduated in June, with honors, I might add.
You finished?
Ooh. Aside from pointing out that Article 6 prohibits discrimination in education based on race, which could arguably apply since the father is African American, yes.
That's it.
With the exception of reminding Your Honor that the First Amendment does indeed state that Miss Sims can associate with whomever she chooses. Yes, that would be it.
You want to throw in Title IX just to be on the safe side?
Since it prohibits sexual discrimination and Miss Sims is a woman, that's not a bad idea. Why, thank you, Your Honor.
Off the record, Miss Sims, if you decide you want to bring charges against the school, I won't fall out of my chair. Miss Sims will return to Fillmore tomorrow morning. Dismissed.
Thank you. Thank you, Renee.
You're welcome, sweetie.
I'll see you later.
You're the best.
I know.
Come to dinner, a little celebration.
I can't. I gotta work.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.
Thanks, Renee.
Good job, Counsel.
Conroy, what are you doing here?
Hiding in the back. Congratulations. You kept your friend out of you-know-where.
Thank you, but she would have been in good hands with you.
Thank you. I just wanted to tell you how great it was to meet you. Don't forget about that school board. See you, Renee.
See ya.
Do you believe the judge told me to sue the school?
Maybe you should think about it. I'm sure Renee would be happy to take this to the wall.
She must be a really good friend.
The best.
She was so great today.
I hope you don't mind leftovers, Johnny.
Not at all. I love macaroni and cheese. In fact, my mom always makes it when it rains.
Cantaloupe?
No, they cantaloupe. They're getting married in 9 months.
Terrible.
They're late, Mary Elizabeth. Kelly said they'd be back in 20 minutes. How responsible is that?
Kelly and Johnny said they have something very important to talk to us about.
Another surprise.
Hey, if it is, it's going to take me a week in a padded room to recover.
It's about us paying for the wedding, and I'll tell you right now, we can't afford it.
Isn't the date almost a year away?
9 months, 3 weeks, and 1 day, but who's counting? Actually, since I stopped smoking, why, the money we've saved on cigarettes alone would pay for the whole thing.
Yeah, well, you quitting smoking.
Would be the best thing to come out of this. I know, I know.
You got that right.
Mom! In here, honey.
Good luck.
Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Sims.
You're late.
Mom, Dad, we...
You want to talk to us about the wedding, right?
Yes.
If you think that I am paying for a expensive wedding,
We don't. That's why we're here.
well, now you two are talking some sense.
Johnny and I realized how irresponsible it was for us to get pregnant.
So we're not getting married in 9 months.
Instead, we're getting married a week from Saturday.
Any day now, I will hear you say goodbye, my love, and you'll be on your way. Then my wild, beautiful bird, you will have flown. It isn't now. I'll be gone alone.
10 days? You can't get married in 10 days.
Johnny, In there.
Daddy.
He came here to talk, so let's talk, man to man. You okay with that?
Yes, sir.
I suppose we should talk woman to woman. Are you crazy? You cannot get married in 10 days.
Mom?
What is your thinking here? Why, Kel? Why 10 days?
Because we want to get married before the baby's born.
You've got 3 months to do that. Meanwhile, go to your room and don't come out until your water breaks.
Mom, you...
And when you do come out of your room, where do you think you're gonna live?
Because you sure as hell are not going to be living here.
Well, we're gonna get an apartment, sir.
And how are you going to pay for that?
Our plan is for me to work more hours at the pharmacy.
And where are you going to find time to do that?
He'll work after school.
What, 4 hours a day?
Johnny was thinking 5.
Okay, 5 hours a day at $5.65. That is minimum wage. That's 6 days a week. That's 24 days a month. That's
About $678.
$678. And that's before taxes, right?
Yes, sir.
And what about food, clothing, car insurance, medical insurance, gas, electricity? And let me tell you, the price of diapers alone will bankrupt your ass.
I know that, Mom, but I love Johnny. Every minute I'm not with him, I can't think of anything else.
Believe me, I know exactly how you feel. I used to feel that way about your father once.
That's why we want to get married now, so we can plan for the baby, decide what to name the baby, learn how to take care of the baby together.
But can't you do all that now anyway without getting married before you even graduate high school?
How? I'm pregnant and engaged. You won't even let him in my room with the door open.
This is a consent form, huh?
Yes, sir.
Johnny, before we go any farther, try telling me the truth about something, okay?
I'll try, sir.
If Kelly wasn't pregnant, would you still marry her?
Eventually, but probably not right now.
Do you really think that having a baby is a good enough reason to get married?
Don't you?
Not always, no. Yes, your father and I did it, but we weren't ready, Kelly. It was not right for us or the baby, but we wouldn't listen.
But you stayed together.
Only because I was more afraid of divorce and going to hell than... Oh, my God.
What?
Well, you couldn't possibly get married in 10 days.
Why?
Pre-K takes up to 6 months.
What?
The pre-marriage classes, and you have to take them in order to get married in the Catholic Church.
Mom, we're not getting married in the church.
The hell you're not.
I know this is a big deal for you.
And it ought to be a big deal to you.
Mom, we're getting married at City Hall, but we need your consent.
Here's my consent. Can I tell you something, Johnny?
Yes, sir.
Your plan sucks.
Kelly, we are not done talking about this.
Yes, we are, if you're not going to even consider giving us your consent.
A marriage without the church is not a marriage at all.
Then what is it?
It is a misguided, sacrilegious convenience.
We're late for school.
My point exactly. Oh yeah, that's right.
You know, she really doesn't need your signature to get married. In Mississippi, they'll marry anything that breathes.
Well, don't tell her that.
Honey, I'm sure she already knows that. What she's looking for is your blessing.
How can I? How can I give my blessing to something that I know in my heart is a mistake?
Remembering how you felt when it happened to you.
I do. I remember exactly how it felt to drop out of college to have Bobby. And I actually believed that I was just putting my plans on hold till he was potty trained. Well, guess what? 30 years later, I don't even have any idea what my plans were. But at least I got married in the church.
I don't think the church wants to get between you and your daughter, so don't let it.
What I want to know is whatever happened to tradition.
Well?
Don't say it. In my family, this is the tradition.
Yes?
Renee, there's someone out here you need to talk to.
You owe me $1,200 for hitting on my husband and for throwing a drink all over his brand new cashmere suit.
Who are you?
I sent the bill and the small claims notice to your P.O. box here at the 10. Certified receipts proving it along with the notice.
I'm sorry, I don't have a P.O. box, and I certainly don't know your husband.
The hell you don't.
Is everything all right?
Well, it will be if this hoochie will stay away from my husband and out of my club, the Velvet Cage.
You own the Velvet Cage?
Yes, I do.
Very nice. I go there often.
Joe.
Sorry, Renee.
I will see you in small claims court today at 4 o'clock.
I do not have an appointment in small claims court today, and I've had just about enough of you, so leave now or I'm calling the police.
No reason for that. And you know, if you don't show, the judge is going to give me the $1,200 anyways. Sweet deal, isn't it?
How are you to know he was married?
Joe, I wasn't there.
Of course not.
If you want, I can go with you this afternoon as a character witness.
No, as soon as her husband sees me, he'll know that it's a simple case of mistaken identity.
The identities of the missing American soldiers have yet to be released. However, according to unofficial estimates, the number
sometimes
of
it helps
those
to
missing
sing
in
where
action or
Johnny
killed
is.
in the line of duty continues to escalate
How about
at
this
an
double?
alarming speed.
If I have to, I'll burn my draft card just like everyone else.
And you go to prison like everyone else.
Dad, even Martin has spoke out against us joining such an unjust war.
Elston, you're an American first and a colored man second. And as an American, you have to fight for your country when they need you.
Why? You told me yourself they still called you a nigga after you came back from the war.
Unless an early end to hostilities is near.
There's got to be a better way to be an American than coming home in one of those.
102, 103, 104, 105, 106.
Alice, what in the devil are you looking for?
Johnny's draft card.
He doesn't have one, dear.
Why not?
Because he enlisted, stupid.
What were you going to do with it if you found it?
Burn it so that Johnny could come home and stay out of the war.
Where'd you get a commie idea like that?
From Renee's brother.
That's no surprise. Codes are always running away from their responsibilities as Americans. Aren't they, Daddy? 112, 113.
Only way to stay out of that war is to be anti-American and run off to Canada like a coward, or be classified as some kind of homo.
And your brother is definitely not one of those.
A homo?
They said no one would notice.
Excuse me?
It's my Exhibit A. What kind of case do you think I have?
Ironclad, open and shut. No doubt about it.
Ms. Renee Jackson and Mr. Luigi Moreno.
Your Honor, before we get started...
We have started. Mr. Moreno, go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, about 4 weeks ago, Miss Jackson here tossed a Long Island iced tea all over my new $1,200 suit, which my lovely wife here bought for me.
May I ask why she threw the drink at you?
Your Honor, if I may...
No, Ms. Jackson, you may not. Go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, after Miss Jackson here propositioned me, and I told her I was happily married to a lovely, kind woman, that's when she tossed the drink at me.
May I ask how you knew who she was?
Well, Your Honor, she paid for the drink with her credit card. I have the receipt right here.
Show Miss Jackson the receipt and then hand it to me. Miss Jackson, do you have an explanation for any of this?
Your Honor, apparently someone has stolen one of my credit cards and...
Do you have a police report to verify the theft?
How could I when I only just found out that the card was stolen?
I've heard enough. This is obviously a case of one person's word against another.
Exactly, Your Honor.
However, considering the credit card receipt and the lack of a police report, and since I have no reason to consider that Mr. Moreno is lying, I'm awarding him the $1,200. Next.
You have got to be kidding.
I'm not kidding. Renee's right. They can just go to Mississippi.
Then let them, because I don't take too kindly to blackmail.
Blackmail.
Well, that's what it is. Sign this or we'll do it anyway. What would you call it?
A mess. A crisis. A disaster of biblical proportions. Reggie, Gail.
Just tell us one thing. If we're willing to give our consent to the kids, why the hell aren't you?
Collier, put a couple more dishes on, honey. We got company for supper.
You can imagine our confusion when we were told that you weren't willing to give the kids your consent to be married.
And considering Kelly's situation, don't you think that's the least that you can do?
Well, we can't really give our blessing to something that we don't really feel is the right thing for them to do. Now, can we, Gail?
The way I see it, my son is the only one around here who's doing the right thing by stepping up to the plate and marrying Kelly.
Well, after talking to your son this morning, I can tell you that he doesn't have a clue where they're going to live while he's stepping up to the plate, or how he's going to pay for any of it once he's at bat.
Wait a minute. Kelly's not going to be living here during her pregnancy?
Well, she was when they were going to be getting married in 9 months.
The difference being?
The difference being that I think that if she's mature enough to make the choice to get married, she's mature enough to live on her own.
So in other words, you're throwing her and my grandchild out into the street?
No. In other words, Kelly has to be a mother, but right now, she doesn't have to be a wife.
The truth is, you don't want this wedding at all.
And you do?
Well, speaking of the wedding, you're Catholic, aren't you?
Yes, and?
We're Baptist.
And your point is?
My point is that whenever my son gets married, it's going to be by our minister at the 16th Street Baptist Church, and not by a Catholic priest.
More wine, anybody?
Come on, Willie. Room, Freddie.
If I were to ask you, Miss Jackson, how many credit cards you have currently in your purse or maybe lying around in a drawer at home, would you be able to tell me?
It would be a guess and probably a bad one. What are you getting at? You're trying to say someone has broken into my house?
Oh, no. And chances are, if you haven't noticed anything out of place, we're talking about a dumpster diver here, not a burglar.
Don't tell me somebody's been going through my trash.
And possibly your mailbox to get information on your Social Security number, your bank account numbers, your loan information. Would you follow me, please? Have you ever tossed away those pre-approved credit card applications without tearing them up first?
Always.
What about having your checks sent to your home instead of picking them up at the bank or left paid bills in the mailbox?
Of course.
All this information can be used to steal a person's identity. Happens to 500,000 people a year.
Guess I should count myself lucky. I've only lost $1,200.
Here's a list. What to do next.
You've got to start by canceling all my major credit cards, gasoline card, department store card, cancel overdraft protection, my ATM card, phone cards, library cards, and my video store rental cards.
And here's my card. Call me if you have any more trouble.
Cal, listen, we've been talking.
Oh, I know, I heard.
No, I mean your dad and me.
About Mississippi?
Well, about a lot of things.
Yeah, we've been talking, and we thought, well, what kind of parents would we be to give our consent to something that we don't think is best for you or the baby's future?
I understand.
But, honey, it doesn't mean that we don't love you or that we won't be there for you and the baby.
I know. You see, after your dinner tonight, Johnny's parents talked to us about how you told them I was mature enough to make my own choices. And, Dad, after your talk with Johnny, we realized you were right. Our plans sort of, how'd you put it? It sucked. So, tonight, Johnny's parents asked us to move in with them after we're married. And we've made the choice to accept. To tell you that Elston doesn't have to burn his draft card and go to jail. All he has to do is go on vacation to Canada or be a homo. But I don't want Elston going to Canada or anywhere else. All right, then it's settled. Elston's a homo. Okay. But what is it? I'm not sure. Miss Jackson?
Yes, dear.
Oh, what's a homo?
Pardon me, dear?
You know someone that doesn't have to go to war and fight like Johnny?
Well, I think, Mary Elizabeth, I think that's something better suited for you to ask your mother about, dear.
Oh, my Lord, Mary Elizabeth, what kind of evil has gotten into you now?
I just need to know, because if Johnny can be one, then maybe he can come home.
Your brother is a good Catholic, for goodness sake. Not one of those.
But, Mama...
I am not going to say another word about it, Mary Elizabeth. Now, you have some milk and cookies and forget about such nonsense.
Tell you what it is if you pinky promise not to tell Mama.
Okay.
It's a man who likes...
milk. I already know that.
Milk? That's right. In fact, all dairy products are involved, especially chicken.
Chicken?
Yeah. They eat so much of it that after a while they start clucking around like one, like this.
Why would they do that?
Some people think they're crazy, but the truth is they're cowards. They're big, yellow-bellied, colored cowards who would rather go to prison than fight and help save Johnny's life.
That's not fair.
No, it's not fair. And if Johnny gets hurt, it's all his fault, Mary Elizabeth. It's all Elston's fault.
But it's not my fault. How can I be 3 payments behind on a 23-foot sailboat? I hate sailing. Yes, that's my social security number and my address.
Renee.
Repossess it? If you can find it, sink it for all I care.
Renee.
What is it, Joe?
Your credit report. According to this, you're 4 months in arrears on your second mortgage payment.
I don't have a second mortgage.
You do now. About $35,000 worth.
A sailboat? A second mortgage? What more can this woman do to me?
I'll start making some calls.
How about max out 12 recently applied for credit cards?
Totaling?
With or without interest?
Lakeisha.
About $22,000.
This is not happening.
Ms. Jackson?
Who wants to know?
The Alabama State Bar Association. We have a problem.
This is crazy. How can I be under investigation for misconduct in Appalachia, Alabama, when I never tried a case there?
As you can see from the filings, Miss Jackson, the trial did take place. That is your signature.
It looks like mine, but it's not because I was never there. In fact, on that day, I was home, sick by myself.
Not much of an alibi, is it?
I didn't think I'd need one.
I'm not supposed to let you see this. Here's a copy of the judge's subsequent notes to the bar regarding your behavior. As you can see,
I could be disbarred for this. Oh, my God. I said that to a judge?
You can see why it demanded our attention.
Well, yes, I understand, but until I can get this cleared up, the Alabama bar is going to have to believe me.
Well, Miss Jackson, they don't. But I do. I'm very aware of your father's reputation, as well as your own. So when this came across my desk, I knew something was awry. Now, I suggest you go to the police.
I already have.
Could I have the officer's name for my report?
Detective Karen Randall.
Great. I'm going to hold on to these filings for a few days. I should give you a chance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Afford a king-size bed?
I've got a little money saved.
Hey, what's going on here?
We decided to move my stuff to a Johnny's now instead of waiting.
What's the rush?
Well, we were thinking it would get kind of crazy after the wedding, especially with the nursery being built at the same time.
Nursery?
My mom's letting us turn her sewing room into a nursery.
That's great, isn't it?
No. What about this?
That goes.
It stays. It's been here since you were 5. Why would it move now?
Because I want to hang it on the wall next to my babies.
Our baby.
Everything's gonna be fine. I love you.
Kelly, stop.
Mom, what are you doing?
Please, just sit down for 1 second, and then you can go. This whole 10-day thing really caught me by surprise.
I know.
And now you're leaving. I know you told me yesterday that you and Johnny want to do everything together.
Right.
But doing everything together doesn't necessarily make it any easier. I mean, don't you see that being a parent at 17 is going to be hard enough without being somebody's wife?
Well, I guess I'll just have to make my mistakes and learn how to be a mother and a wife just like everyone else.
You haven't even learned how to be Kelly Sims yet, and now you want to be Mrs. Johnny Williams?
What is wrong with that?
Kelly, don't you want to be Kelly Sims, the young woman, and Kelly Sims, the college graduate, and Kelly Sims, the successful career woman, before you become someone else?
I will. I'll be all of that, Mom, and a mother, and a wife.
When?
Later.
Kelly, please, I'm just trying.
I know. You just want what's best for me and my baby, right? I know that. But so do I.
Hello?
What are you doing?
Staring at the ceiling. You know, I really hate cottage cheese.
Me too.
Kelly has left to start her new life with Mrs. Williams.
Well, I'm sure she'll be back. Renee Jackson, number 2, has ruined my good credit.
Well, I'm sure that Renee Jackson, number 1, will get it back.
Renee, we have to go to the...
You know that room with the padded walls you were talking about?
Yeah.
I'll take one with a view. What are you doing?
Helping a friend find out the truth about a certain club.
What's going on there? Renee?
All right, Elizabeth?
Up here.
I mean, I gotta go.
Yeah, I'll call you back.
What the hell happened to Kelly's room?
It's moved across town to a Johnny's parents, remember? How fast can you build a nursery?
A nursery? Why?
Because I want Kelly and the baby to live here with us.
What about Johnny?
Well, he's part of the package now, isn't he?
Hold it. First you didn't want him here at all, and now you want me to build a nursery. Have you lost your mind?
Not yet. But I'm about to lose my daughter, and I'm not going to let that happen either.
No way. I'm not letting you do this.
The hell you're not.
That boy is not living in my house.
That boy happens to be a man who has fathered your grandchild.
That is why that boy or man or whatever the hell he is not sleeping down the hall from me in my house and lying in bed with my daughter.
Really? Well, what had you rather that she'd be laying over there in the bed with him at Reggie's house?
No, she is not doing either one.
Really? Then what do you want them to do, Collier? Because this is the reality. This is the choice. Either they're over there with them or they're here with us. What do you want?
Let's start by calling a spade a spade.
Don't go there, Collier.
That baby is black enough without being raised in that family.
Collier?
Mary Elizabeth, it doesn't have to be either one if they never get married.
Well, that's just brilliant, Collier, but they are gonna get married. So what do you want?
Well, you tell me, Mary Elizabeth, because all I see is a lot of finger-pointing and bitching around here. You tell me what you want. Are you saying that you want your daughter, who's mature enough to get pregnant and get married without our consent, living in the bedroom that she was raised in with him? Huh? Come on, Mary Elizabeth, tell what you want. Come on, come on.
I don't want my only daughter going through this pregnancy without me. Is that too damn much to ask?
Where the hell are you going?
To buy a crib.
Not gonna get a drink?
How about a virgin strawberry daiquiri?
Oh, don't get many.
I know that it wasn't you. But before I say anything else, I need your word that you won't repeat any of this to the police or to my wife.
I can't do that.
And at least my wife. You met her. If she kill me. On my mama's grave, you have nothing to gain by telling her.
Go on.
She was off that night. And after I bought the other Renee a couple of drinks, we sort of went and did it on top of a few cases of Captain Maury's rum. You know, a little, sis boom ba.
Oh, my God. All of this because of that?
Yeah, in the back there by the salted peanuts. And then afterwards, when I told her no more, because I had to go back to work, she tossed a drink at me.
You're a pig.
Yeah, well, most of the guys that come in here are. But I have your word.
Mr. Moreno, what can you tell me about this imposter that might actually be helpful to me?
Oh, plenty. But can I, buy you a drink first?
I wouldn't if I were you.
Wouldn't what? Call my brother a coward if I were you. Then why don't you tell him to enlist so he can go help Johnny? Because I'm afraid something's gonna happen to him and me. Why are you talking to me like this? Because Johnny's over there all by himself fighting. And it ain't fair. Well, maybe you should have done more to stop him in the first place. What? It isn't Elston's fault he's there. It's yours. You're stupid. No, I'm not. Because I'm going to do everything I can to stop Elston from going. So he doesn't end up like the soldiers on TV.
What are you doing back so soon? I came to warn you. Warn me about what? Right out there. Nam. It's the way the Bible describes hell. Fire, death, evil, it's everywhere. Why did you come to see me? I want to give you a present. What is it? It's a body bag with your name on it, Austin. I don't want it. Well, then you do whatever you gotta do to stay out of the war. Or you're gonna come home in one of these. Renee, tell Mary Elizabeth that it wasn't her fault.
The dead and buried have better credit than I do.
There is some good news, but there's a catch. You were right about only being responsible for $50 per credit card.
What's the catch?
It may take over a year to clear up your credit.
Great.
Hello? Yes, it is. No, my Renee Jackson would never buy a used car. Would you hold, please? It's her.
Her who?
Her, you. Listen. Could you repeat that, please?
Of course. I'm calling to confirm that Renee Jackson is still employed there.
Yes, she is. May I ask why?
Well, she's applying for a car loan here in Stevenson, and...
May I speak to her? I have a message regarding a court appearance in the morning.
Okay, hold on. Hello?
This is Renee Jackson.
Of course it is, dear.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I can. And of course, 8 o'clock will be fine.
You have to stop.
Well, that wouldn't be any fun. And please tell everyone that I am so sorry I missed the breakfast meeting.
Do I know you?
Of course not. But tell Mary Elizabeth I said hello. If there's anything else?
Oh, no, don't. Lakeisha, how did she know Emmy's name?
Mom, if it's a girl, what about Antoinette? Oh, yeah. Her dad's right. This book does get boring.
Here, just give me 10 minutes to get ready, okay? Okay. Ready for what? I'm eating at a Johnny's tonight, if that's all right.
Sure, why wouldn't it be? So where y'all been?
Out shopping.
Yeah, for what?
The nursery.
That would be the nursery that had been your sewing room?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, this is a nice crib, Emmy. We just bought the same one. Assembled.
Could we step outside? Don't you think you're going a little overboard, Gail?
How so?
Well, I don't know, maybe by controlling my daughter, by moving her into your house and building her a nursery, and I don't know what's next, Gail.
I guess that depends on what you deny her next.
I've never denied my daughter anything. I've also raised her not to rely on others to take care of her responsibilities.
Oh, please tell me this is not about a mother's jealousy over another woman. At least when I thought this was about religion, I could respect our differences.
Could you?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about that.
Well, as I mentioned, my faith is just as important to me as yours is to you.
I'm sure it is, and I have to say I don't know all that much about your faith, but I'm guessing it's a little more flexible than mine. We're Catholic. You know our reputation.
I'm listening.
If Kelly doesn't get married by a priest, it's not about family pride or one faith being better than the other. It's about her not being allowed to go to communion or confession or, God forbid, receive last rites.
So we should just let the bully on the block have his way?
I don't think that bully is the appropriate term here. In the eyes of Kelly's faith, her child would be raised by parents living in sin for the rest of their lives.
You keep accusing me of trying to control Kelly by giving her choices. Well, let's just be honest, okay, Emmy? Who's controlling who when your faith takes all the choices away?
Well, it's not me. If I had it my way, they wouldn't be getting married at all. Because I know how hard it's going to be. But if they're determined to do this, all I'm asking is that it happen in my church. And that I not be the one sold down the river by you or anybody else as the bad mother in all this.
Where's Mrs. Williams?
I asked her to leave.
Mom!
I did it politely. Listen. We've changed our minds.
About what?
About you and a Johnny living here after you get married. Daddy will build a nursery, and we'll all go through this together.
Mom, I can't do that to the Williams now. Why didn't you say this before? They're planning a wedding reception.
And so have I. In my heart since the day you were born. And planned the wedding, too. And imagined how it would be when you walked down the aisle with the Sims and O'Briens on one side and the Grimm's family on the other. That's how it is when you're a parent. Isn't that right, Collier? From the first time your baby takes a breath, all you do is imagine every moment of their life, large and small. And you just pray that their life will be as happy as your own.
It will be.
I also spoke to Father Thomas, and he said that under the circumstances that he felt that he could cram the whole pre-Cana into 6 weeks.
Are you saying that you and Daddy will give us your blessing if we wait?
Tell her, Collier.
Tell her what?
Tell your daughter, with her right in front of you, what you told me.
Daddy does it? Daddy, does it mean you'll give us your blessing?
Oh, yes, it does, sweetheart.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you, Mom.
Love you, baby. Where you going?
Going to talk to Johnny. That's what married couples do, right? Talk before making big decisions.
No, but I can assure you Ms. Jackson is not 3 weeks overdue on the rental of any video called Batman and Throb It. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm here to see Miss Jackson.
Detective Randall.
Ah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Jackson.
Is everything all right?
Yes. I have some good news for you. Thanks in great part to what you're able to tell me from your secret source at the club, we think we know who she is.
Has she been arrested?
No, and most likely won't be.
Why? I don't understand.
Well, we don't actually know her name, but we do know her M.O. She has a legal background. She's been going cross-country, singling out black female attorneys, stealing their identities, credit cards, bank accounts, even trying cases in their name.
So what's the good news?
We think she's moved on to somebody else.
Thank God. Are you sure?
Well, we have an early lead on a similar incident occurring as we speak in Biloxi, Mississippi.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Renee, you didn't recently buy 2 weeks of a timeshare and a honeymoon suite in the Poconos, did you? I didn't think so.
Renee? What's this all about?
Elson, don't go. Promise me you won't go.
What are you talking about? Go where?
Here, take this. I've saved over $20.
What am I gonna do with this?
It's for food or water, anything else you need in Canada.
I can't take this.
Take it!
Okay. But come here and sit down with me.
Just promise me, Elson. Promise me you won't go where Johnny is. I'll never forgive you if you do. Never.
Just calm down and look at me. I want you to know that whatever I do, wherever I go, it's because I believe it's the right thing to do. And no matter what people say once I'm gone, your brother's not a coward. You know that, right?
Saying goodbye? He said goodbye. Just said it in his own way. You okay? As long as my brother's okay, I'm okay. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry, Emmy. What for this time? Johnny leaving and all? It wasn't your fault. You couldn't stop him because he was doing what he thought was right. I guess it's not so different what happened to us. How do you mean? Well, both of our brothers are gone because of that stupid war. And all I care about now is for them to both come home. They will. Because Johnny promised me before he left. It wasn't goodbye, it was just see you later.
Hi, I'm so sorry to bother you at home. I stopped by your office. They said you left for the day. If it's too late...
Oh, don't be silly. Come on in. I was just having a glass of wine.
Okay. You have a beautiful home.
Thank you. I hope I'll be able to afford it once I get my credit all straightened out.
Yeah, I heard from Detective Randall. That's been quite unfortunate.
I understand they have a good lead on what she's doing in Biloxi, Mississippi. Now, hopefully they'll be able to nab her this time.
Really? It's good to know. Miss Jackson, after speaking with Detective Randall, I was able to persuade the other members of the bar there's no reason to keep this case open. So it's been officially closed.
Finally, some good news. And without a catch. There is no catch, is there?
No catch. I suppose the best news would be that you would never hear from me again.
That would be true. Nothing personal.
Listen, here are copies of the closed files for your records. You can refer to them in the future if you have any questions, any problems. And here is my card.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I offer you...
Oh, no, I gotta run. Miss Jackson, I hope you know it was nothing personal on my part as well. It's just my job.
Of course.
I'll see myself out.
Good night.
Good night.
She was in my house. And like an idiot, I believed she was who she said she was. And then I told her that the police had a good lead on her in Biloxi.
It's ringing.
Like P.T. Barnum said, another one of you is born every minute. If you're interested in joining our weekly Suckers Anonymous therapy group, please...
Wow.
I told you. Can you believe it?
A crook with a sense of humor.
Bitch.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Gail.
Hey, Mrs. Sims.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Mary Elizabeth.
Hey. Gail?
Emmy?
Oh, Gail, Renee, Gail. It's my friend. It's Kelly's future mother-in-law.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. It seems that both Johnny and Kelly believe that it's more important for her to go through this pregnancy with her own mother.
Well, you can't argue with that.
Yeah, it was hard, but I tried anyway. But then I started to remember, about those midnight feedings and smelly diapers and the smell of baby's vomit in your hair and...
Wait a minute. Trying to set me up here?
Oh, no. They're all yours now. I brought you this. Just consider it a housewarming gift from one mother to another.
Oh. I guess you lost that battle too, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's one more thing. Apparently the kids, behind both our backs, I might add, went and talked to my minister, who, after talking to your priest, decided that they could both preside over the wedding in your church. Now, if that's okay with you, it's okay with me, too.
Yes, it is. And thank you. Well, 6 weeks is not very much time to plan the wedding of the century.
No, I'd really like a drink.
Well, let's get her a glass.
Hey, Daddy, could you help Johnny move his computer into my room?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks, Daddy.